So now we are in the session number 12, the last one of the training about the visualization. We have been doing some configurations here. I will continue finishing the designs about integration of different elements in my visualization. So I go to the room again. Okay, I will include some buttons from my libraries. Decided to use the green color. I would like to show you the trending of the temperature. You remember that we created this in the web manager. We may open the web manager again if you want to take a look on this. I will open it and show it to you. At my web manager here, we created some trendings, if you remember, about temperatures for each room. Okay, and maybe we have some information. Yes, some information coming from yesterday. This line means that I had stopped the server, the computer, from specific time, but we can see information from yesterday, temperature of the room. So it's working fine. It's working fine. So this was Wednesday, the first time I create this. If I put week, maybe we get also the whole week information. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you can see more or less the trending of this temperature. So what I want to see is this in the visualization. Okay, so to call this web manager window, remember that all these elements have a specific WID. This is the meaning of this is WID 1072, but we can also see in the visualization. So to call this window with this graphic, I will select a button. For example, button with a chart. This one to represent my graphic. Let me show a bigger button. Okay, I will fix this. But the function of these buttons will be to call a web manager window. So this is what we can do. Web manager to show my temperature of my room. So how to do this? Because we are using variables for the room number, floor number, but also when I did the folders, I also used this idea to identify the room in the folder, also the graphic. So we can use variables also here because elements also refer to this room number. So I will show you which kind of element to be a trending. Okay, which element the trending for a temperature of a room, specific room, and then I can use variables for this floor and room. So even here we can use the variables for the floor and the room. I think I have to do it 2 times, but we can. Okay. In a first window with a caption, temperature or room temperature. Okay, this is the for that window. So let me show you how this works. I will just put this button here. I will go to home because we need always to give values from the scratch, from the beginning, but we will get this. First room, first floor, for example, first room. And if I press here, I will get a new window. We have to wait a bit. Because it's charging all the data and it takes some time. But this is the room for the 0101 room. That's good. Because if I select 0102 and I press this button, it has to be for 0102. So you see it's different room. Of course, we could change the floor and so and so, but floor 4, we can use different, of course, different windows, different screens to see all this, but you are changing the values given with the variables for the floor and the room, so you can see the temperature for the room for CO2. So that's really interesting part. I will close this window and let's go with alarms, for example. It's also possible. We have alarms per specifically for the room. And so we can do again a new button. There is a button similar like this. So I will make the same size, show you the way, same size. Also, we can order or just align with the top reference of the first of the devices. And here configuration is same way. Web window, in this case, the alarm list. And the element will be alarms, lights for the room, not a specific alarm, but for the room itself. That folder will include my alarms of the room. But of course, I need to specify the variables. I was copy in a possible new window. About the room. If you want to pop up an alarm for a specific room on the home page, Mitko, you just select this. I will show you. But because you don't need to put variables, you just put the specific path of this, but it's simple. So room alarms, okay. And then let me show you. I will go to home. Let me show you also what you are asking. If you copy this button and put it here in home, and if you want just alarm for a specific light even, you just put here, and instead of this, you just select a specific alarm light for the last light of the last room, this alarm. That's it. And you can show it. I think it's bed, no, ceiling, bed light at alarm. It's possible, so it's just for that specific light or room or whatever you select it. But in my project, I'm using the variables in order to make a lot of things with the least effort possible. But if you want or need to do a specific thing, it's not a problem, you can do it. So if I select this first room, for example, and I select this window, the alarms for this room. It's in another screen. I am moving it to my screen. But as you can see, these are the lamps for the room 0101. If I change the room, I can see the lamps for the room 0102 that no lights are on. Maybe I can turn on all the lights. and I can get the alarms here, because it was an example that if the light was on, there was an alarm. I can turn off all the lights, so you can see alarms are released. You have all that list, all list or history for this specific room. So that's also working fine related to two variables. And if you want to see the alarms for that specific light at room 0402 alarm, you have it. This is that specific alarm for only this light. That is not on, so it's not an alarm here. Okay, so it's not a problem to call a specific alarm. Or for example, if you want to call all the alarms for the floor one, or for the specific floor, the alarms for all the lights in the floor, you can put it here. Let me copy, sorry. Let me copy this button. And in the floor, you can put the alarm for the floor. So what to do with this? I have to select. I haven't, no, I cannot do it because I have not folder including these rooms. But if you do it with floor 01, and you include the rooms in this, you can select just that folder and it's all. It's not possible here because I don't have one folder containing all these lights. But what I can do is just, instead of per floor, all the alarms can be created, can be put it here. So all the alarms can be here, for example. So what I have to do is just, and all of them are here, so I don't need to use variables. It's just this. So it will work with all the alarms because it's a folder structure that we have created that permits to get all this information for all the alarms in the same. Okay, so all the alarms are here, all the alarms. If I turn on all the lights that I can do, but you will get a lot of alarms here. So about calendars, I think we don't have calendars, events to all the lights. Time event, it was only one thing. Okay, so I will just do it in a few seconds and we can remind how to create a template. Very simple. It's just a new event for start stop time event. I will create a calendar. But don't worry because it will take only 1 second. The path extension is important. So it will be 02 calendars. And I will create per room. Calendar per room. So I will use my variables, but not visualization variables. It will be room, floor, and room. That's it. And all the light calendars will be included in this folder. So it will be just per light also. There will be a folder to include all the calendars in this folder. inside the folder, yes. So I create here all together in the same folder. All that is important because we will select the folder and see the message. Start and date and time is not important for me because I will not do any test. Different actions, yes. So on for light, whatever inside that folder. Whatever action is just to select the right to an item, and my item will be my light. So in alias, I select whatever light, but using the variables, concept, floor and room, backslash, I also deleted, but it's now, and on off of the light. This is okay. I will copy this, just send one, and stop action of the light, and to do it the same way, right command to the same item with a different value, just to create a template. Okay, doesn't mind if it's holiday or not. It's just for you to understand that we will see the calendars for the different light control. Okay, calendar for light, whatever inside this folder. It's okay. So I will just implement the calendar, and then in the visualization we can see. Okay, I will apply template, light control, and the file. I have already one file. I create this Excel template for this alarm of the lights, so I can just take this example. Downloads. Oh, I deleted it. My goodness, I have to create it again. Oh, I'm failure because I deleted. Well, it's a few seconds. This is my mistake to delete this file because I was already created this on that time. But just the lights were whole, path, left, right, bed, ceiling for all the rooms. So room 01 has these 6 lights, and this is also same number for the floor. Also has the same floor has another room. So there is a room number 2. And also there is a floor number 2. So, well, what I can do is just to copy this 2 times. Okay, and okay, floor 2 is another 12 lights in floor number 3, and finally a 4th floor with the same 12 lights for the 2 rooms. And to try to do it at most optimized way possible. Okay, light control is the file, 48 lights and 48 calendars that will be created. Just selecting this file, it's enough. It's enough. So that's it. And then we get values to the floors, the rooms, and the lights. I import this and I get 48 calendars. But the question is that they will be structured by floors, by rooms, I'm sorry. 96 actions with 48 started stop time events. So this will be my calendars per room, all together in the same folder. That is what I wanted to show, because I want to have this vision per room. This vision, like agenda, like a month, whatever. So my different calendars accessible from this vision. So this has to be created because I didn't have time to do it before, but you have seen in 5 seconds and 2 minutes we got it. 5 seconds is a bit more optimistic. So then finally I was just want to create a button, calendar button here, also to show you that we can also control the lights, for example, with this button, making this same size and maybe aligning these 3 icons with this reference with the same vertical spacing, horizontal spacing, sorry. And then this definition is to be a web manager window as for the calendar that will be per room, not per light. And in this case, just using my variables. Let me copy my par link, substituting this floor and room. Window 4, calendar lights. Room, for example. So that's it. This is the last thing. I don't need to show you that it works, but maybe you want to see. But finally, we can conclude that our visualization, sorry, I have to get values. Whatever floor, whatever room, and my calendar for the lights, I can make it outside of the box. I want to show you that it's for that specific room. We can edit the instance from here. And the question is to see if they, which room they are inside. Because we don't have the, in the definition of the calendars, I didn't put the room number, but it's only for that room. So we cannot see this, but it's possible to understand that it's correctly selecting this event for only this item. So you can see that it's in this room specific. So it's correct, but maybe it's possible to make it improve it, but just for show you how it's working. And finally, and I forget to do it before, but if you remember, we had, and I don't know if I have it active or not, but I will activate it very soon. We had My Fidelio Opera. Maybe you remember. They are not activated, but I will. Oh, maybe it's not necessary, Fidelio Opera, because I had my module, GRMS, hotel, and my rooms. And just to know if this room is checked in or not, I have this item. So maybe I can create just a multi-text, also the language, also the guest name. It could be interesting to include in my visualization because it's very easy. We have the reference only for the room, so it's very simple. What is the name of the guest for this room, what is his language, and if the room is checked in or not. Only the checking, for example, just to show you this example. So in the room, I can just create a multi-text. It's very simple. Multi-text, just considering if this specific item that is from module GRMS, hotel, and whatever room, because we can change the variables here per floor and per room, if room is checked in or not. That's very interesting. And the text is very good. Free, if the value is 0, for example, and occupied, if the value is 1, for example, and no idea if the quality of the item is not good. So you can also know if it's good or not. We can change the font, of course. You can select here what is the font for free. So let's say Arial 20, but green color, for example, green color, if it's free. And if it's occupied, I copy font 1 to put it in red color. So this is just a text, should fit, but we can put it here, for example, if it's free or if it's occupied. Also, it could be labeled with we can put here a label with the name of the guest. It's very simple because it's just an indicator and it will be just to select the guest name using the variables. That's good because our GRMS or Fidelio also is using your room number, the structure for you. So it's just use also 20 or whatever. And then if you have a room, a specific room, maybe you can see here the name of the guest. So that's the final thing. Let me show you. Home, start, yes, and fill some of these values here. For example, for the first room, let me write a true. We can do it with the web manager, but it's true. Oh, it has to be done by the web manager. I will do with the web manager. It's very easy. GRMS, hotel, the first room. I'm going to check out. And now checking. Occupied. Well, the QR code is a problem always. And the second I would put a click action in there, for example. Okay, and 0201 for Robert. Okay, so we get these items in the item tree, and in the visualization, if I select the room, it's occupied by Julio. This is occupied by Mr. Akshay, and 0201 is occupied by Robert, but this is free. So just for you to complete now this information, if you want. Let's say make a bit more complex or sophisticated, including the GRMS information, your trends, your all these things. So to finish this example, visualization example, we have to see, for example, in web browser. So to do this, we have to save and transfer to the server because we have to do some management. This visualization, save and transfer to the server. That's the first approach. Okay. Then we go to the web manager again. And here we go to visualization management. This is the second step. We haven't seen this. Okay. I have my Visu, some airport demo that I also open only a few seconds, but it's here automatically loaded. I will delete this definition and this also that is to be deleted also. I only want to see my visualization. Okay. One device, yes. When I trigger from the visualization editor the runtime, it is automatically created device to do this, so it's okay. That is one device also configured. It was received now at 1:35:52 p.m., but it hasn't been deployed. So what we have to do is to deploy it. It's like a compilation of this in order to be able to show it on web browser. So when it's finished, we can refresh here. So, okay, it's correctly deployed. It's the first thing to do. You can also import your visualization files here, okay? But now what we need to do, this is the project, but we need to define the clients that are going to do this visualization. As you can see, by default, we have some different GRMS clients for the different rooms. This was automatically created by the GRMS project. So when you have the bring your own device solution, I will see that it's possible to have all these clients automatically created. I am interested just in my visualization, okay? And this is the name of the client. I can say, let's say, call it web. Name of the device that is going to use this visualization. It doesn't have to be a specific name, it's okay, because you can all use web in the iPad. It doesn't specify that you are going to open always in the web browser, or vice versa. I can just write iPad. It's the same. It's just for me to understand what is this resource to use. Also, I will know that in my iPad I will have the specific visualization, for example, this visualization. Okay, you can limit the connections because in principle there is no limitation except your license. Remember that the license will have a lot of limitations in terms of simultaneous connections. 3, 5, you can extend it, but maybe you only have 2 or 3 by default. If you want to limit this to only one connection, it's okay. Only one person can use this visualization. No more than one, because you have a limit on this. If you put 10 and your license is limited to 3, doesn't mind, it will be 3, no 10. Okay. If you put no limit, your limit is in your license. Okay, that's the only thing. And then we can just test open visualization from here. That's possible. I can open visualization. Not web, it's iPad. I don't know why it says web. Maybe it's iPad. So if you put just localhost, the port you are using for the visualization, remember this port can be seen in your configuration. In my case, it's a different port than normal ones. In my case, it's 8082. So this is the reason why my system is going to 8082, because well, I didn't force to use HTTPS. Okay, but you can also use 443 with HTTPS. In fact, if I do this manually, no, because maybe my browser is not working fine with HTTPS, but it should work. Username and password, and here, depending on the user rights, you can see different things. I will show you also, but just to show you that this works. Admin change me, and we should see our visualization. What happens here? I don't have windows. I have different visualization, different pages in the visualization. The zoom is automatic, so it will be adapting always to the size you would like to give to this page. And then again, a new for the room. And then you can see this is this grouping with toggle buttons is not working for. This is not working for web, okay, I must say. It can be both at the same time, but it works also. And if you want to change shutters, for example, or you control the lights perfectly here. So it's really nice and smooth, okay? And of course, you can see the temperature. It will be a new, it's blocking for pop-ups. Okay. A new window here. It's a new one. It's the graphic. So you can have it here also in a new visualization. Okay. Also, it's a bit of mess because we have a lot of things here. Let me put some windows smaller because it's enough. And close and close and minimize. So you see different windows and it's web, okay? The alarms, another browser for the alarm, or the calendar. So you can have a lot of screens in web, but that all of them are different options to do. Okay, calendars, alarms, trends. I need screens to show you all. Okay, floors, and this is the way you see this in web. Okay, in a web browser. But about the web manager, this visualization, depending on the users, you can also give visualization management. You can see here we can give different users different access. So depends on the user. This is my user one. It was my user that I created. An administrator has by default access to everything, but every single user you can give access also. The same way about the groups. No groups created, but you could create access to the groups directly. About, and this is very important, configurations. Okay, and you can give, well, you give permissions to see different, these are different configurations for the, but for every single client, for example, for a GRMS, you can different projects, for example, give access to different layers. Well, this is apply different values for the workspace variables you may use. So it's important to have the configuration. For example, if you are using workspace variable, you have to give the room number to this specific room. So every single room has the workspace variable that we use to create only one project. So we just give different values for this workspace variable. So every single room visualization is only controlling the lights of all these rooms. So this configuration is also important. But the question is, normally what you have to configure is to give permission to each user to access a specific project. For example, here it's automatically assigned each user to each project. In fact, the name of the user and the project are the same, so it's automatically created by the BMS. I did nothing about this. So, and you can create a user that has only access to this, and if you are a super admin, you have access by default, and you cannot release this access. Get the control for everything. So it's very simple to understand how this works. So now what I'm going to show you is how can we handle this in a device like an iPad, no? So let me do some before. In order to make this work. But you can see there is an app called NETx Vision, okay? NETx Vision. So to do or to see the visualization in my iPad, the first thing, of course, is to be in the same network. So my iPad is connected to the same network, my home. But second, configure a profile, okay? When I am entering the NETx Vision app, I can add a profile or I scan a QR code. So this is for bring your own device solution, but I will show you the normal thing is just to add a new profile. So name of this profile, maybe it's good to be, for example, hotel of the profile. Okay. Well, what is the host? Is the IP of my computer. So I have just to know which is the IP of my computer. Let me check. This is the host. Okay. So the IP of the server is now is this. Okay. Port this one. Okay. I will not use TLS because I will have some trouble. Username. Okay, you have your username. I will use the normal. And then I can check what are the available devices. What I have pressed is this button, get available devices. If I select iPad and save, go back, and then I have access to my visualization. This is the iPad. This is my iPad. So I can go to floor. If you want to change from one view to another, in the left menu, you make a placement, so you move to the left, and then you select this first or the second view, for example. Because you only have one iPad now, one screen. So you go to the room. Again, we have 3 views now open, view 1, 2, and 3, and then you can control whatever the light, for example, this light on the bed, or the light for the ceiling. So the aspect is really good. It's really good. Okay. Do not disturb makeup room is also working. And I can see also the graphics, the trending. Again, this is window 1, room temperature, but you can also have, if you go here, second wing, the alarms. So you get all this information. You can make zoom, select don't want aggregation, select the year or the month, make zoom, and you can select to save as a GIF file or to see a table and download an Excel table and do whatever with this Excel table. Okay, so it's really smooth, so you can do whatever you want. Or your calendar, for example, that I haven't showed you. Selecting here, month, and selecting with the zoom, because you can use the zoom. I can edit. Maybe zoom is not good now. Okay, something happened with the connection. With the web manager, I forgot a lot, I think. Now it's again connected. Okay, we have this graphic. Maybe also the calendar can be shown. As I show you, you can select a specific light, edit this instance, all the changing the timing, whatever. So on the fly, I'm just touching my iPad. If you want to edit all recurrence, you edit for all. So you can select if you don't want to use this in August, or if you want to do it weekly, so you can select only weekdays. What about the holidays, excluded, or only the holidays? So means included, so save. I am touching the iPad, so it's really easy to do this work, this job. Okay, so this is the way. But what happened? I would like also, imagine in my iPad that it's in my home, I want to connect to my home computer, so I can also add another profile. It's not limited to this. So I can select, okay, let me create a new one that is home. And what is the host? It's a different computer. What I'm not sure if it's the port, but I will check. I log in. I am using always the super admin, but it's not necessary. And I have my home or the iPad, but this is my home visualization. I have a backup server, so I can also put the backup server if the home server is not correctly connected. I get automatically connection to the backup server, or auto config backup server is also possible. So if I save and I want to see home visualization, I can change from hotel to home here. So I get access to my home visualization that is in another computer. So from the same iPad, I can see different things. It's a pop-up, graphic, the energy pricing. That's my home. I'm just playing always with this. The pricing of the of the of the electricity, or controlling whatever what I showed you yesterday. You have the electrical board and up with information. Some of this information is out of the range, so differential, typical, or the power factor that is really low power now, and now it's only 230 watts at home because I am using photovoltaics and all these things. So all this information is really nice. We have HVAC to control lights or control shutters or whatever, timing this, so it's not so really professional now, and controlling the lights using, oops, something happened here, controlling the lights. No, it's not opening. It doesn't want to show me the lights. Control all the shutters. No. Oh, maybe yes, but it's on another page. No, doesn't mind. I have to check it because normally maximum number of BMS clients reached. Logging not possible. Really? Okay. But as you can see, we can change from hotel to home, and both are in different computers, so that's good. That's interesting to have this information. Okay. So, pop-ups, very smooth in this example. So this was the last thing to show you as a small example for the visualization, but we also have some other examples to show to you. So I will close this application now. My iPad. I will close this, and I will open other projects that we have. We have used in light and building, for example. So if you don't mind, I will stop this BMS, and I will open another visualization project so we can finish showing you some examples we did or we showed in light and building. And stopping the server, and we will open another page. So you will, and I will open another visualization. So to show you this visualization, not in the iPad, it's enough to see in the visualization editor, I guess. So with this, we can finish the training, and also with your questions, of course, that you are doing some questions in the chat, so we can also end this training. So workspace open. I will have some check outside of the box. Yes, light and building. I will start in simulation mode now because the devices are not the same that I have here. So once it's starting, there are some backnets and whatever field devices, but also there is a bring your own device solution in this in this project. So I will open the visualization, and let me open. We will export also this example to get it. I can do it now. My colleagues, Robert, you have the link to my Dropbox of this year's training, so you can copy and create your own Dropbox as mentioned before. So maybe you can make it available to all our colleagues in a few time. So let me open. The visualization of the hotel. Light and building. Okay. Light and building hotel demo. Okay. It's just one page, but it's interesting because it has the bring your own device solution included. It's just a room, I think. Yeah, it's very simple. It's very simple, but it's related to bring your own device. So what I'm going to do is just save and transfer to the server and show you the web manager. This is the first example to show you. GRMS, one floor. And now you see at last, the QR code. Okay, so what if I will again connect my iPad, okay, if I use the camera of my iPad to scan this QR code. Okay, well, yes, we need, visualization endpoints has to be updated. Okay. This is the configuration of this element. Bring your own device, but we need just to give the correct IP address. Two 216. Okay, now it's okay. So okay, so what if I use the iPad to scan the QR code? Let me check. Camera. Okay, as you can see, I am scanning NETx Vision, and I am automatically checking in the room, automatically configuring the app and configuring, well, whatever. Yeah, I know what is happening. Yeah, sorry, it's 1 second. One second and it will work. It's related to the firewall. I have a lot of security in. I have to permit some things in order to make this possible. So now I guess it should. Users not allowed to use this definition. I don't know what happens. But the question is that with the QR code from the web manager, you just automatically, let us try again, because maybe the QR code is not correct. So I am scanning, as you will see now. Well, if I put it here, it will be not good. But I am scanning NETx Vision. So it's checking in, and it should show you, well, it's something with the configuration, but you should be shown the visualization of the room. Well, it's something that related to users. I don't know, because with this definition, we cannot access the configuration. So, but it should be done. It's now. Okay, but the question is that with the different values, the different check-in, different QR codes were generated, and then you access to the specific room. So that was also configured here. The configuration of the rooms were also here in the BMS module. So here's when you see what is the language item for this guest, the name of this guest, workspace variables for your visualization. So language is a variable, so you can change the text, what is the homepage variables, all these things. So it's really interesting how to handle all this information, and also, okay, related to the project, it's the message you get when you are you receive a checkout, what is the QR code is generated using a specific report. But of course, we don't. I didn't consider the cloud portal project. I think it's related to this. It has to be also linked to the cloud portal to establish a project, and specifically configuration that I haven't done. So it's not working because of some small detail. But the question is to show you that it's possible to create a visualization using some just workspace variable, language, for example, or the room number or whatever, and then only one design of okay for any of the rooms of the project. And finally, to show you the translation table is also interesting for you to understand. If we use different languages, we can relate to a specific table where we can create keys for these different texts, and it's just to create your keys. For example, one key can be underscore temperature underscore, and for example, languages like NDE or Spanish, for example. So in English, room is room. In Deutsch is Zimmer. And es is habitación. Temperature. In English is temperature. So temperature. In German, I don't know, but I will write the same. And in Spanish is temperatura with A. So what we do is, instead of using directly one specific text, what we do is this text and put a variable in the visualization should be like this, ttw room underscore, the key of this text. And this is, instead of room, you put this text and will be changing depending on this variable workspace that you mentioned with the language. So this table is to do this configuration. So you, as you can see, you have all the language you may need, all the keys, all the translation keys you may need. But this table will be really helpful for your visualization. So the only thing to do is to put here labels like this one, with this, instead of room only, you make it better using translation text and using the key, so room underscore, for example, if you use English as a reference. So depending on this value of the variable, the workspace variable, if the value is Spanish, it will be in Spanish. But you change this value depending on the it has to change depending on the language of this variable, but dynamically. So let me open another project to you. That's the airport, I think. Airport demo. Because the last thing I want to show you is some things related to the LAMPS module and the DALI management. So in this demo, we also shown in real okay, we also were showing, sorry, I create this, no, I want terminal, to show you how this works. So, because when you have DALI elements, you have gateways, and you can select which is the gateway you are using, and then you can select or control the lights directly. So imagine that you have several gateways, each gateway with several lamps. Some of them are, some of these lamps are emergency lights, and so it's very easy to configure and to control all these lights in runtime. So this is what we can see here. Okay, we can control a light. If it's emergency, we have different possibilities to control the light. If it's not, it's a normal light, you can also turn on and off, know the current, the operating hours, a threshold, the current hours, the threshold, whatever. Okay, you can do for specific devices. You know that it's changing the device. You can see here with colors how is the lamp, the ballast, the converter, but graphically, not only in the item tree as we saw. But also you can test a run a test for the gateway, so you can see every ballast how they are working. But let's say graphically, not only in terms of an item tree that it's really nice, but it's better to see it graphically than another way. So selecting a specific, if it's an emergency, test, run a test of battery, and you get here the results. If you want to test a device only, as you can see, all of these windows are pop-up windows, and all these libraries, you have it in the visualization editor. So if I create a page, I can show you. It's just module lamps about devices or about gateway. So if you want a table, you select the gateway of all the gateways you may have in your project, and then how many devices you are using. Let's say all these devices. Say, okay, the system is generating automatically this element for you. So when it's finished, you get all this information, and then you just have to visualize. It's not fixing the page, so we should have to move it a bit, but just to show you how it's working. So you get this information, and then you can select one device. Okay, it's out of the box, but or you can select how to control the any of these elements. Oh, it's not live now, but whatever device. But I should fix it because it should be in the page, everything inside the page, I guess. But it's automatically created by the visualization. And this is one example. We can also use for gateways. So you can include for gateways, and you select all the gateways that are in the floor or all the gateways that are in DALI in the folder. So I think I have to select a specific folder including gateways. Yes. So you get this, and you are now going gateway by gateway. So you can see each gateway one by one, and then you can select gateway by gateway and not specifically device by device. So it's really interesting because it's taking information from your project. So you can go and select this or this and take a look on, and different gateways from different manufacturers are also possible to check. So you have an overview of all your gateways, and you can have a running test of your gateways and so on. So we can have in one page general pages get the gateways, and in a specific pages the information from every single device. All of these are emergencies. So but you can see here or here another example I did was the same. It's the same idea. Okay, so just last thing was these DALI libraries that it was no time to explain in the normal visualization. So as promised, I will give to you all the information related to the project and the visualization we did. For these examples, I will put in my Dropbox folder that, Robert, you have access to that, so you can share with all our colleagues. I will put the camera just to say goodbye and appreciate your interest and your time to be here with us. So if you have any question, any concern, I will be happy to help if possible. So thanks so much. And that's all for now for the training. I hope you have enjoyed, and we hope that you can get really good projects and you can use the best solution to integrate all these technologies and to have the best solution for your end customers. So thanks so much, and see you. Bye-bye.